Tariq, thank you for inviting me to your pharmacy to help you create your process flows for your team. And I understand the process flows, how you want to use them is you want to use them partly for training, to train staff, and also to bring more consistency within the pharmacy for the processes. Is that right?
It is correct.
Okay. So I have a list of the ones that you gave me, and there's quite a good list there. We can get through all of them and do the drafts for that. The first one that I would like to start with is called dropping off prescriptions. Is that one okay with you?
Sure.
Okay. So before we start, I wanted to let you know that I did some reading about your pharmacy to prepare for our meeting because I like to use your time well. And also I know that you're very busy, and whenever I can work ahead of time and learn what I can and do the kind of research and the legwork, it's just me respecting your time. So I went on to Google and I found several articles that you wrote actually about running a pharmacy, working with patients, and so on, out of the KIHC Integrated Health Center. So I thought that was really interesting. And the one that I liked the most, like in terms of relevance to our interview here, was about what happens behind the counter stays behind the counter. So I thought that one was really good and very relevant to our talk now. And it gave me some sense of the process that you'd like to document. So what I did in preparation for this meeting is I started off with a draft process flow. I pulled what I could from that article and I put it in as questions. And I'd like to step through with you now and go through that and go through the interview and get more information from you and verify what I've already gotten. Is that okay with you?
That's perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to bring that up on my screen, and just bear with me here while I am doing this. It appears that the host disabled participant screen sharing. Are you able to allow me to share my document?
Just 1 second. Yeah.
Okay, I would appreciate that.
You can share now.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. And as you can see here, what I have are the swim lanes and as well as the title, dropping off prescriptions. And I have some notes here that I've gotten from the article and from some other research that I've been doing. And I'd really like to kind of step through from the very beginning and, bear in mind that I am typing, so I might have to jump in once in a while and clarify or back up because it is, conversation goes quite fast sometimes. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay. So the first thing I'd like to find out from you is what roles are involved in the pharmacy in terms of the dropping off prescriptions, because I know you have a number of people, number of different roles in the pharmacy, including the pharmacy assistant and the pharmacist. So what roles are involved here, please?
All roles. It's something that when we are busy and there are so many people, anybody who can go attend the person who just entered from the door and pick up a prescription that is dropped is appreciated sometimes.
Mhm.
So because we only have pharmacy assistants and the pharmacist right now in the pharmacy, so basically it will be pharmacist and the pharmacy assistant.
Okay, so we have a pharmacist and a pharmacy assistant. So anybody can do this procedure?
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward as long as you know what you need to ask for.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So take me through then, if you wouldn't mind, take me through from the very beginning. Where does this process start?
It starts when we hear the door binging, like ringing, somebody comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the start. So we know that, and we intended to have this kind of a like a ring on the door, so we notice if somebody walks in.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an agreement as a team that once somebody walks in, we have to attend to them, even if we say something like, "Just 1 second, we'll be with you shortly or in a minute." It gives the customer a feeling of like is important, and we are just taking care of them. If we know the person, and we most of the times, because we are a small pharmacy and we are community oriented, so we know our patients very well and our customers, so we just say by name, "Hey Alex, just 1 second, we will be with you shortly in a minute," or something.
Okay, so you greet the customer,
Mhm.
and then what happens after that?
Once a team member approaches the counter, they start to understand what the customer wants. If they have a prescription in their hand to drop off, sometimes people will drop off the prescription, sometimes the people will drop off a vial, an empty vial, for asking for refills, or they will come and ask for refills verbally, like, "Would you take, um, can you please fill my heart pills?" So in this case, we need to ask more questions to clarify the exact request from the customer.
Okay, and so it seems like at this point, it could be a number of different scenarios. It could be that they just have a prescription in hand. It could be that they have a vial, and I'm not sure that I got the spelling of that
Yeah,
correct.
VIAL, a vial, which is
Vial.
yeah, the
Okay, sure.
container that we put meds on.
Okay. They may have a vial to refill, so we ask more questions about the exact request from the customer. And then based on the scenario, do you take different directions?
Yeah, sometimes we do. Like, for example, if the customer is completely like a new person, we never had the person in the pharmacy before, so we need to gather more information about allergies, about medical conditions, if they have any drug coverage of any kind. And this is one scenario. If the person is coming is a regular customer, then that's, and with a prescription, then that's basically either something new or a change in a current medication, or just a regular refill from because they might have just came from the doctor's appointment or something.
Mhm. Okay.
And if it's a refill, and normally, whether the person say it by like they tell us, "I want a refill on my heart medication," as I said, or they bring the vial, the empty vial, which is a label with a label on it, we might need to clarify if if there is refills remaining or the prescription has expired. Then we need to fax the doctor, or the client has to contact their doctor to get a new prescription or a refill. So we need to clarify all these points before the patient or the customer leaves the store.
Okay. Okay, so once all of this clarification is done with the customer or the patient, which term do you prefer, customer or patient?
Well, I'd like customer or a client more, because yeah, patient it's the right word as well, but we would like to think from the client and customer kind of experience and give them a very good experience.
Okay. And because you're a community pharmacy and you have a very good relationship with your clients.
Exactly.
So once all of that is clarified, is that the end of the drop off,
Yeah,
or is there more
the
steps?
final thing after that, which is we decide with the client, like when do they want it? Is it urgent? So some people will drop off an antibiotic prescription. They want it right now, so they might wait for it, and we have to give them to agree on the timing. Like, it's going to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, depending on the workflow at that day and moment. And some people will ask for a repeat or a refill and say, "Okay, I still have a couple of pills remaining, so I can come tomorrow," for example. So the final point in here is to decide on how it's going to be picked up, and when is it needed. Does the patient need it urgently, or they can wait for it for a while?
Okay, and I read on your website that you also deliver. So is that
Yes,
also a possibility?
exactly. So some people will come in, they will just be coming from the doctor, for example, they drop the prescription and say, I'm going home and I'm not going out. Can you please deliver it later today or tomorrow?
Okay, very good. Okay, is there anything else involved in dropping off a prescription?
I don't think there is. The only thing that comes to my mind is maybe if there is any cost or price on the prescription that the patient or the client will pay. It might be something. They might ask for it directly at the beginning. If they know they don't have insurance, how much is going to cost? That's the only other thing that I think of.
Okay, and in the case that they ask how much it would cost, what steps does the pharmacy assistant or the pharmacist do at that point?
Well, we have a functionality in our software that we can give a price quote. So we basically take the prescription, look at the medication, and give a quick price quote, a rough estimate of the cost.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds terrific. I got a lot of information. You can see I was taking a lot of notes here, and I really appreciate your time, Tariq. And I will produce a draft now and send to you within a couple of days for your review. Does that sound okay?
Sounds good. Thank
Okay,
you so
great.
much.
Thank you so much.